A phrase that has long been thrown around is the popular term, real man. Being labeled a real man has forever been seen as the ultimate compliment of respect a man could give another, and to be viewed in this way has been regarded as the ultimate goal to achieve for the male population. But what is a real man? In some parts of society, this achievement is measured in terms of how many fights one has participated in and won, even if the reason for the fight is for something completely idiotic and dishonorable. Another historic definition of a real man would depend on how shredded and cut up he is when it comes to his muscularity, never mind if the method of gaining it was questionable. Some societies label one a real man depending on how much money he has or how many sexual encounters he's had, disregarding whether the money is earned in a positive manner and overlooking the tremendous heartbreak of the poor women that agreed to be another tally mark to his bedroom antics. I'm sure there's plenty more. This video will be teaching you 5 different qualities of a real man, with hope that after this beneficial video, you begin to understand what is and what it takes to truly be a real man. Not for anyone, but for yourself, to put you on the path of masculinity. Number 1. A real man reads. If you groaned after mentioning reading, you already failed. Reading is one of the most powerful things a man can do. A man with knowledge is far more stronger than a man wielding a sword. The man who reads thinks. The man who reads understands. Seeking knowledge is something that every Muslim should do. Remaining ignorant is not an excuse for regretful decisions. You are granted with initiative. Use it and make yourself mentally stronger by conquering yourself. The Prophet, peace be upon him, mentioned in a hadith, whoever takes a path upon which to obtain knowledge, Allah makes the path to paradise easy for him. The best man to walk the earth emphasizes here the importance of seeking knowledge. So what is your excuse? Number 2, a real man has purpose. A real man who has knowledge recognizes what is important and what is rubbish that ain't worth his time. A real man doesn't lose himself in the pretty bells and whistles of life that don't bring him any real benefit. When a real man sees things that are a distraction, he keeps moving. A real man realizes why he's here on this earth, that he is only here for a short time, and that he has to do what he has to do to make sure he's got a ticket to paradise. A real man focuses on what's important, bettering himself, making a living for his family, and preparing himself for the future. A real man lives by what the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, live in this world as if you are a traveler or a stranger, which, in essence, means to not get caught up by the glamour of this world because it's temporary. He doesn't stick around and waste time. Don't let things distract you because you have to make it to your destination. A real man manages his time wisely and gives the proper due to his work, his family, and his Creator. Stay focused and do what you have to do, because in the end there is no one except you. Number 3. A real man is gentle yet firm. A real man recognizes the importance of his family and does his utmost to be a contributing member of the family. A real man preserves and protects. A real man recognizes that his children are a blessing from God and treats them as such and brings them up to be upright human beings. A real man makes time for his family and does not neglect them because of work or his own personal dealings. The Prophet, peace be upon him, once said, the best of you is the one who is best to his own family, and I am the best of you towards my family. A real man is the backbone of his family and doesn't have time to be weak. A real man doesn't just take care of his immediate household, but looks after his family that he grew up with. He honors his parents to the utmost, especially his mother. He calls his family often and stays in touch. He's good to his siblings and relatives. A real man strives to be the best father, brother, son, and husband he can be, and works hard to live up to be the best. Number 4. A real man does not backbite. In a hadith, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that one of the reasons people enter hell is because of their mouths. This emphasizes the dangers of our mouths and the consequences of not having control over what comes out. A real man keeps his mouth shut if he doesn't have anything nice to say. A real man keeps a careful watch on his tongue because he knows that what he says may result in deep regret sooner or later. A real man doesn't discuss things he doesn't know about or people he hasn't ever met. Learn to talk when it is beneficial, and learn to remain silent when necessary, as a powerful man only talks to understand, and a fool talks for the sake of talking. And finally, number 5. A real man respects women and lowers his gaze. A real man doesn't catcall at girls. A real man doesn't sit with other guys and talk about how pretty girls are and drool while discussing their body parts and wanting to hit it. A real man doesn't treat women like a buffet. A real man pursues a wife, not a girlfriend, and he goes about it the right way. If a real man is interested in a female, he goes to their parents to let them know his intentions, like how they did it back in the days. A real man works on lowering his gaze when beautiful women walk by. A real man keeps his interactions with women short, cordial, and to the point, and doesn't let it go longer, so flirting and dirty thoughts can come into the mix. If a man is married, he stays faithful and doesn't leer his eyes elsewhere, and that includes the TV, the internet, and magazines. A real man is respectful to his wife, both in public and in private. A real man does not raise his hands to his wife, no matter what the case is. A real man doesn't point out his wife's flaws and treat her like a second-class citizen. What have we learned here today? Hopefully, you've learned that you have some homework to do before we can even consider ourselves a real man, especially one of the caliber of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. These traits are not impossible to attain. All it takes is some effort. A wise man once said that the essence of manhood is when a man has reached the pinnacle of his role. By the help of God, we very well can reach that pinnacle. Last but not the least, a real man would share this with others. That is the end. Until next time, take care and be a man. May Allah bless you all.